All right. Let me know when you're ready.
I think I'm good.
Good.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Hey, everyone. This is Peter DJ Fist from Liege of Cookies, Castle Black Radio. I'm here with Connor Green. Connor, how you doing today? This evening?
Hey, doing great, doing great. I've never done an interview this late, and
Really?
I'm excited. It's fun. It's a fun idea. It feels like we're just hanging out, except we're not because you live in Florida. Is that
I
right?
live in Florida. And
Okay, so we're
you're in you're in Indiana, right?
yeah, yeah. I guess we're about like 12 hours or 15 hours, whatever it is, away
Yeah,
from each
something
other.
like that.
But this is fun. It's cool.
That's cool. So I see you have cats.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I got the tree over there and then the portrait there,
That's nice.
which is yeah, they vastly different creatures. One's a Bengal, one's a Scottish fold.
I have a cat around here somewhere, but she
Oh, I
doesn't
want
like
to
being.
see him. Oh, she's a little lady.
No, no, she doesn't like being picked up. If
I
if
shouldn't
by
like it. Yeah, well, I get that. My parents' cat's like that.
if by chance I can pick her up, I can show it. Cool. All right. So I never had someone with a cat background. That's a first.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's my wife and I's favorite thing is our cats, I think so.
Yeah, that's good. So you're starting your tour on May 3rd in Nashville.
Yeah, that's right. I'm just gonna turn you up here. That's right. Yeah, Nashville, May 3rd, and then uh I guess we've only played Nashville maybe once before. So slightly untapped market for us.
Yeah,
I love the town. Nashville's a great town. But yeah, so
that's a
we'll
nice
go up
area.
into Canada. Yeah, great town. Go up into Canada, and then come back down the East Coast and finally make our way to Florida and then down south. And yeah.
You're hitting all over the place.
Yeah.
Seattle, San Francisco, Philadelphia,
Yeah.
Florida. Yeah, I'm originally from Philadelphia, so I know the place where you're playing in
Oh.
Philadelphia. The Theater of Living Arts is a nice little place.
Oh, great. Right. Yeah. We've never played that, I don't think, but it sounds like it'll be a nice facility at the very least, which we haven't
Well,
always had in Philadelphia.
yeah, there's a lot of places in Philadelphia. There's a lot of dives in
Yeah.
Philadelphia too. So,
Hmm.
but from it's been many years since I've been there. But from what I remember, it was a nice place when I went there
Oh, great. Okay.
quite a few years ago.
Yeah.
Talking over 20 years. So
Oh, wow. Who'd you see? Do you remember?
I remember one band I saw Saxon play there.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
Saxon, and I think the band King Missile, if you remember them.
No, I don't know them.
No,
That flew over my
they're
radar.
they're like they're kind of a weird alternative band for the 90s.
Oh.
If you remember, look them up. They have kind of strange, kind of comedic, kind of the singer's kind of like a poet instead of doesn't really sing. He like does poetry. It's kind of weird. It's
Oh,
different. That's
wow.
why I like it.
Sounds like weird is good.
Yeah. So you guys, when you go on a tour, do you guys go on one of those big buses or you hit the little vans?
Yeah, we're doing the bigger buses these days. We have for a few years now. When
Yeah.
I first started with the band in 2014, we were doing the splitters as they call them, sprinter
Mm.
vans, I think we call them. Yeah, with Ross, our singer, driving most of the time, or having a driver along with us. And I would have driven, but I don't have an EU license. I don't have a UK. I definitely can't drive in the UK with the opposite side, so I
That
never
would
did
be
any
weird.
driving. I'd definitely be up for it again if we had to in the US. But we've been doing this long enough to where we like the comfort of a nice bus and
Oh yeah,
having
for
the
sure.
beds on there is great. Just like a few hours before the gig, that's like the thing you do. You just go back to the bus, have a little nap. I'll play Zelda on my Switch, do that kind of thing. Yeah, it's nice doing the bus.
Yeah, definitely for sure. It's better than being cramped in the. I can imagine six people in a van, cramped in the van. It's kind of
Yeah,
not
yeah.
that
I mean, it
fun.
happens with Cryptodira, who just opened for us in Europe. They were in a van for 7 weeks, with each other. You really got to like the guys you're playing with to do that.
Oh yeah, and
And they were all great guys. And I mean, luckily, everyone Haken, we're great buddies. And but still, we're like we're too old for that.
yeah. Make sure
Yeah,
people
yeah,
make sure the people pack deodorant.
yeah. Exactly. Which luckily we were very good at staying clean. We were clean boys. That's for sure.
that's that's good. How do you tour like how do you even do laundry or do you even do laundry on the tour? You just try to do it the best you can.
Yeah, actually, it's not too bad. We got lucky in Europe. There were a few venues that had washing machines in them and dryers. Some of basically every single washing machine and dryer don't work, but like I mean, it'll spit water out, and so I mean the washer is okay. I mean you can wash clothes in a sink if you have to. The
Yeah,
dryer is where you get unlucky. So and we were in Karlsruhe in Germany, and I just had to hang my underpants on the stairwell.
yeah.
Like I didn't know what else to do, so I just hang them on the roof. There was just 5 stories of grown men's underwear drying for the entire day. That you know, it's like a makeshift clothesline kind of thing. So you know, you do what you have to do, but it's kind of fun.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
So opening the tour is Arch Echo. I've never heard of them.
yeah.
You
They're.
guys,
Oh, go ahead.
do you know the band, or I guess you guys do you get a hand in picking what bands tour with you, or is that just not up to management and stuff like that?
Yeah, it could go either way. Arch Echo, they're an instrumental band, 2 guitar players, keyboardist, bass player, and drummer. I had heard of them recently, beforehand, before we, you know, the tour
Mhm.
was announced. I had heard of them, checked them out, and was pretty blown away by how good they are. They're very talented instrumentalists. Um, every single one of them can just shred with the best of them, basically.
Yeah.
And they all kind of have their own little social media followings. You know, they're all individually very good at that stuff. Um, I need to check out their music a bit more. I've heard bits and pieces here and there. Obviously, very good. I think it's gonna be a great fit.
Yeah.
You know, we obviously we have bits of instrumental. I don't know if you'd call it shreds. Not the right word. It's not really that. But you know, there's guitar solos, there's keyboard
Yeah.
solos here and there. There's some technical stuff, especially rhythmically. So I think it'll be a great fit. Yeah. I think check them out maybe if you're into
Yeah,
the
I'm definitely
instrumental
going to.
stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, I forgot to answer
Um,
the question about the management. I think we do have a hand we in picking. Um,
okay.
if we can't if we can't think of it, what it comes down to a lot of times is just bands aren't available or can't afford
Mhm.
it because like the life support band it's financially not as
Yeah.
profitable, obviously.
Mhm.
Or I guess it could be, depends on what it is. I don't we
Yeah.
haven't done many sport tours ourselves. We have done a few, but yeah, we've floated the idea to a bunch of bands and got lucky with them, I think, because they open for Dream Theater and bands like that, and yeah, so sometimes if we can't think of anyone, we'll just say management, you figure it out. But we always float ideas if we can.
Have you ever played with like an opening band that's like totally out of left field and doesn't even fit your style, like with a country band or something like that? Or
Oh, well, not okay. So yes, that has happened. Not country, but when I was playing with Mike Portnoy and we did the Shatter Fortress in 2017. We went to South America, and I think we were in Buenos Aires, and a DJ opened, which was it was crazy. It was like he was just doing top 40 hits before us. And I was like, what? I think it's like a local, maybe it's a Argentina thing that you have to have like a local artist open for you, and it doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't even need to fit stylistically. And we've had like brutal death metal bands play before us, like local, especially in the US. I think that happens a lot where
Yeah.
local promoters will just have local bands, and which is cool. But if you have a band like us and you put a death metal band on before us, it's a weird fit. How about
Yeah.
a lot of people like maybe more the progressive fans, they're like, what is this, what show,
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
confused. Yeah, so we've had some weird instances. I think the DJ took the cake though. He was doomed from the start. Like it was not his fault. He couldn't help that his the audience was just a bunch of metal fans.
Yeah. I
Pretty
remember
funny.
I remember seeing Dream Theater and play with Opeth on their tour between
Yeah.
Varied B, Opeth, and I was with sitting next to a bunch of prog bands. And like when Opeth was still doing the growling vocals, I was like, "What the hell
Yeah.
is this? This is crap."
I know that happens all the time, man. Like people that don't like that kind of style. I mean, I get it. I grew up with that stuff, so like I love it all. I love Opeth, love Dream Theater, love BT Bam. I think it's cool. Even if it was a wacky like country band, I'd love it. I mean, I can enjoy a good country tune.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
for sure. Yeah.
yeah, but most people wouldn't dig it, which I get.
The fans wouldn't dig it. They'd like be like,
No,
"What the heck is this?"
yeah, they would hate it. They would hate it.
So I got a good hopefully a good question you don't get asked too often.
Oh,
I'm sure
please.
with these interviews, I guess it's kind of like a. Are you the one mostly doing the interviews? Like you like I have an interview at 9 o'clock, then 9:30, and then 10 o'clock, then 10:30, stuff like that. Is like back to back to back.
Well, so I usually don't do interviews.
Oh, okay.
I don't. It's not that I don't like them. I'm not a good. I'm not good at being interesting and like sounding like good answer. I don't know. I'm just so bad at it. Um, so yeah, I usually don't do them. Usually, Rich, guitar player, Charlie does a lot. Ross does a lot. Pete has done quite a bit. So basically, everyone but me does them, and they do have instances where they're like, okay, I got to be on Zoom at 4:30. I got to then call someone at 5, and I got to get on, Skype. That my cat just made an appearance. Yeah, so they can, especially when they were on our European tour, they were
Yeah.
on Zoom from like 4:30 to 6:30, doing interviews, and yeah, I think it takes a toll. So I've
Yeah.
done total. This is my third one since the album came out, and I've
Okay.
it's kind of nice.
I try. Yeah, I try to make it like a just conversation with a friend. I don't want to make it
Yeah,
just to that question, and then that's it.
yeah, I think that's kind of why I'm enjoying this one. It's just like just
It's
talking because
just
everyone else is going to ask the same questions anyway, and they like what are your inspirations?
yeah, of course.
All right.
So the question I have is, I like to go. I like running. I run a lot. I actually
Oh,
listened to the album yesterday, the latest album on it, and
mm,
because on Mondays I try to run like 6 miles. Like, oh, I should be able to definitely listen to the whole album. and
yeah, man, six
and
miles is brutal.
yeah, I'm one of those crazy people who actually likes running.
Yeah, well,
Um,
Rich is that way. Our guitar player, he loves running.
what I was thinking, I'm trying to think of an idea for my own podcast, songs to run to. I don't have a name to it yet. Like
Hmm.
picking 3 songs by an artist. What songs do you think would be good, upbeat, good songs to work out or to run to? My first choice is Taurus. The first song. It's a upbeat song.
Yeah.
Which one of your songs? To be honest with you, I'm new to the
Uh-huh.
Haken music. I don't want to
Yeah.
pretend like I've been following you since 2008. But I've heard songs in Virus and Vector, and I've been listening to the new album a lot. But
Yeah.
let me know which other 2 songs you think I should add besides Taurus.
Okay, so are you a metal guy at all?
Yeah,
Okay, you're a big metal guy. So, what I would say, Voice of Trespass. Does it have to be Haken songs or?
yeah. I'm talking
Oh
Haken
shit.
songs.
Okay, I'm like okay. So listen to Between the Buried and Me. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
For Haken stuff, let me pull up Haken here. I mean, I I gotta see the list of tunes. As far as running, that's because you don't want to make it too long, I guess, or can it be long?
no, it can be long. Just
Okay.
something more upbeat. That's gonna get your blood pumping, get your
Well,
whatever.
okay. Yeah, obviously there are a lot of choices that I'm looking at here. If you're going for a metal thing, Prosthetic from Virus, that's a good one. Nil by Mouth from Vector. I'm just gonna go one from each album, which I know you said two, but I'm going
Okay.
crazy.
Oh, that's good.
So yeah, Nil by Mouth
Mhm.
from Vector. Yeah, Prosthetic from Virus. From the Mountain, I would say In Memoriam,
Mhm.
probably. It's a short, sweet, energetic one. From Affinity, as far as upbeat, I mean, Earthrise is probably as upbeat as it gets on that record.
Okay.
And then from before I joined, which was 2014. So this album came out in 2010.
Yeah.
Aquarius. Mm, I would Streams for sure,
Okay.
definitely upbeat. And then Visions. Mm, I think you got to go with Visions. The 23-minute. I mean, if you're
Okay.
running 6 miles,
Yeah.
23 minutes, that's nothing.
Yeah. That's
Uh,
nothing. That's
yeah. So I think if Fauna, you put Taurus on, yeah, Taurus is a good choice. Yeah, let's just
very
do
smooth.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll take when if I do this podcast, and I'll definitely I'll list all those songs. I
Yeah.
figured that's a good idea for a
Yeah. Yeah. Or
podcast.
pick two. I don't know.
I was thinking
Whatever your
three,
favorites are.
three, but I'll try it.
Right.
All right. So hopefully you probably won't get that kind of question. So
No, typically not. It's a collaborative question.
yeah. So I'm a bass player myself. Not a good one.
Nice.
Not a good
Well,
one.
I have that thought all the time about myself.
what what kind of basses do you play? Is there a specific brand? Do you endorsed by a specific brand?
Yeah, well, let me grab it here. Um, I've been playing this one for a few months. This Dingwall.
Oh yeah.
Dingwall's got the hip shot thing there. Yeah, Z3. Um, Obviously the fan fret thing and um, 3 pickups and yeah, I would get rid of. They're making me a new one right now, and I would get rid of these EQs. I don't use EQ on my bass.
Okay.
I mean, I use EQ, but like on my pedals, not on my bass. I don't like an onboard preamp, not my thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I play Dingwall basses, have for quite a few years since I started playing them in 2014, and then played Zons briefly for a couple of years, and then switched back to Dingwalls in like 2017.
I never heard of that name. Dingwall.
Yeah, it's a Canadian company that's based in Saskatchewan. Um, and yeah, they're big in the metal community, but also, I mean, pop like Duran Duran's bass player uses them. Leland Sklar kind of
Mhm.
popularized them. Nolly Get Good, had a big hand in popularizing them. They're getting up there as far as brand recognition these days.
Like, you show me yours, and I'll show you
Yeah, yeah. Please. Oh,
my my
please.
my, my cheapo. I have it, the
Oh,
the Squire by Fender. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's like the $150 bass.
Well, I mean, is that was that a P or a PJ?
P.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I have my trusty old Fender P bass that I use in all my local non-metal gigs. You got to have a P bass in your bass arsenal.
Yeah, it's
Got to have it.
I sit it next to me while I work, and I just need to play it more. It's hard when I'm not in a band or practicing songs with a band or anything
Yeah.
to actually pick it up and play it. What do you suggest to someone like that who's do you just like pick a hey, I want to, because I used to want to play a lot of Rush songs, Tom Sawyer,
Yeah,
Spirit of Radio. Those things are so
of
hard.
course.
Um, but
Yeah, yeah. Those are tough to begin with if
yeah,
you're not. I mean, as far as like what you should play or what music you should play.
just like what you play, because I usually just try to pick it up, play a drum beat, try to come up with some
Yeah.
a rhythm, maybe some fills, and next time I pick up the bass, I totally forget it. I need to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, like I mean, if I wasn't in Haken, what I'd probably be doing is I'd just learn other people's music first. That's how I kind of got into uh music, playing music professionally at all,
Yeah,
was learning, for example, John Mayung bass line from a song. It doesn't matter what song, like Awake era John Mayung bass lines,
that's
and
got to
just
be
learn.
pretty hard.
Yeah, some of them, but some of them aren't too bad. I mean, like The Mirror, for example, isn't tough. I mean, it's mostly just eighth notes the whole time. Um, or Erotomania even has some pretty approachable moments. Um, but yeah, I like learning anyone's bass work. I played in a country band over pandemic, and learned so much from just playing, because those are very simple bass lines, but even with a simple line, you can learn so much. And everyone, from bass player to bass player, playing a country song, they sound so different.
Yeah,
A guy that plays for Darius Rucker is going to sound way different from a guy that plays with Merle Haggard. Even if
yeah,
it's the same chords. Yeah, I just I learn any different bass players' bass line, and then um, kind of use what I learned to come up with something that I like just
yeah.
kind of a mold of all of the influences. I find like, oh, I want to come up with a cool fill. And I just sit there and like, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't find that very fun personally. I know that's probably weird. most people are like, create my own stuff. And it's like, I totally get, I'm just not one of those guys. I like to
Okay.
learn something someone else did, and then another thing, like just take whatever you like. And then it kind of naturally inspires me to come up with something that might sound like me,
Mhm.
if you say that, even though it's a little pretentious to say.
I
But I think
got you.
that's how people come up with stuff sometimes. It's just copying others. That's
True.
how I like
Yeah.
to do it anyway. That's how I like to do it.
I was playing in my church worship group. They, worship songs are pretty easy, and
Yeah.
I would get bored, so I'd start putting in fills. And the one guitar player was like, "Just don't do anything. Just follow the songs." Man, that's so boring. I don't want to. I got to add my own stuff to it. Like
Yeah, I mean,
you're a bass player. You're not supposed to be doing solos and stuff.
yeah, I'm so traditional. I kind of get where that guy's coming from to a certain degree.
Yeah.
It's been like, because I played in some worship bands, again, like 2019, 2020. Um, and I found it's such a funny set of parameters. Like, here are four chords.
Yes.
This is what you're gonna do. And in a way, it's kind of meditative. You just play the eighth notes and just do it.
Yep.
Maybe throw like one. It's kind of a fun little test. Needless to say, as you know, it is quite boring
It can be.
at
Yeah.
times, especially certain songs if they're like the melody's not great or whatever. Um, but yeah, it's not terribly stimulating. But you can learn even things that aren't fills. You can still add your own spice, and
Yeah.
no one will notice. It's always a fun little uh, exercise, I suppose.
Do fans get upset if you change, like if you change the song too much? Like if maybe when you first joined the band, if you played an older song where it wasn't your bass line, maybe some people get upset. He's screwing it up, the whole bass line. He's not
Yeah,
following
I
it.
mean,
I
I
don't know.
I
I don't know if you have fans like that or that particular, but
yeah, I actually it wasn't so much that I was changing bass lines that Tom, the previous bass player had played. I think I saw a lot of like, oh, Connor's a bit more boring of a bass player. He doesn't throw in as many licks.
okay.
He's a more traditional player. He's not as exciting, which I those are all valid criticisms. If Tom, the previous bass player, he definitely was a bit more experimental and played very very differently than I do than I did then and than I do now. Um, yeah, I just have a great time being the bass player and choosing my moments to throw in a lick or fill or whatever, because it's Haken music's pretty dense,
Mhm.
and I don't want to take away from a riff by being like, oh, I got to play my own thing. I got to stand out. It's like I just don't really have that thought that often. So
Yeah.
yeah, you do see things like that, like, yeah, he's boring. Just that's fine. I mean, it's probably true, but that's what I like. That's what I like.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you guys record? When do you guys get together in the UK sometimes and just record in session, or is it still like COVID days where you switch, send files to each other?
Yeah, it's we've always kind of had that COVID approach even before the
Yeah.
pandemic. We've always just kind of like, I love recording by myself. It's just very enjoyable for me, because I can I do as many takes as I want. I can change things up. There's no time constraints.
Yeah.
Um, if I'm not feeling it, I can just walk away and not have to worry about paying $800 for 4 hours or whatever. I don't know what rates are, but and
Yeah.
guitar players are the same. We record DI signals. I use this massive uh, Ready bass DI over here, just to record a DI signal that I send to a mixing engineer,
Mm.
and the guys, they do the same. Keyboard, I think obviously drums are done at a studio
Yeah.
in London, and the only thing that we kind of did traditional were the vocals, which we recorded in Brighton in the UK. We all just kind of sat in engineering room or whatever you call that, and Ross
Mhm.
was in the booth, and it felt like, oh, we're like a real band, which for us, we just never really had that, or at least the guys have done it before. It was my first time doing that because
Yeah.
I live in, but I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. It's like, it, it's like we're a band in the '80s or something. Being there's a bunch of rack gear and
Yeah,
microphones and all this cool stuff. But yeah, we've always kind of built, we're a modern COVID era type
yeah.
band. That's just kind of what we've always liked. Even Ray now, our drummer, has made his own studio at his house, and even he's going to be recording, you know, solo in his house at some point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would be nice to have.
yeah, it's pretty good.
So what did you do? What other musical projects have you done besides Haken, like pre-Haken? You said, and during COVID, you did a country band, you did a
Yeah.
worship stuff. What else have you done
Um,
musically?
yeah, I have a day job first of all that's not music. Um, so that takes up a chunk of the day.
Okay.
Uh, but I've worked with local groups since I was 18. Um, local, basically anything from
Mhm.
pop bands to choirs, to arranging slash transcribing work, which I've done a fair bit of recently. So even if it's not like local group needs a chart for um, like a Broadway tune, but they don't want to pay, I don't know how much those charts are. I don't even know if they're possible to get. So someone will contact me and just say, can you make me piano, bass, drum chart for that
Oh,
song? And so I do that a lot, as well. And of course the country bands. Yeah. I don't have any other rock or metal groups that I lead. I just enjoy playing with groups here in Indiana and
yeah.
do my day job, and I just enjoy just playing a lot of time. I enjoy just sitting here and noodling a lot, which I know doesn't pay the bills, but it's kind of
Yeah.
keeps me. It's just a fun thing. I've always liked to do that ever since I was a teenager. Just not noodle like uselessly, but like practice and try and get better, and
Yeah. Yeah.
try and keep up playing guitar a little bit too, and um, yeah. So nothing,
Hmm.
nothing, nothing rock and roll. Just very, you know, local musician kind of stuff.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting that you have a day job. Yeah. Are you like working for, I'm not going to ask you who you work for. I don't want, that's personal information, but you work for a company, and if you work for a company, how do you say, okay, I'm not going to be available from May to June because I'm going on tour, or do they say, okay, you're cool with that? How do
Yeah.
you,
Well, I mean, I'm a little lucky in that it is a family business that's been in the family for generations, and I joined in 2020, or was it? Yeah, I think 2020. Yeah, late 2020. Um, and I can work from home and work on the road. So my cat is looking at me in the most ridiculous fashion. He's laying on his back. I'm gonna hold on.
yeah, pick them
It's
up?
it's too great. What? How do I? Oh god. Oh
Song,
god. How does
song
this
per
camera
second.
work? There he is. Just ridiculous. Why are you looking at me like that? Okay. Um.
Our cat's the same way. She just sits there and stares at my wife.
He's just adoring. Yeah. He's just staring. All right. He's distracting me. Yeah, so it's just like a part-time thing. Like I'll do music part-time in the day, and then my job part-time. And yeah, it's actually kind of a nice thing on tour. Like, I'll take a break for a while and just do my day job and not have to think about, tour stuff for a few hours.
So you can actually like sit in the tour bus with the laptop and do some work.
Yeah.
Oh,
Basically, I'll
that's
sit
nice.
in my bed and just work away on my laptop. But probably isn't good for my back. So that's where the internet worked best on the last tour bus. So I had to sit like that. Uh, yeah, I mean, it's any job, it's nice to kind of have a little way to get away from it for a second. Just because the
Yeah,
touring is so much fun. Um, but even so, you kind of have a little bit of a connection to your normal life.
yeah,
Yeah, you have a little bit of a schedule that you maintain while you're on the road, as opposed to just having every day be um, anything goes. It's nice to have a little bit of something that's um, built into your day that you can
right.
do. Uh, yeah,
They make touring sound. I don't know if they do it anymore, but make it sound so glamorous. But you're playing on stage for an hour or whatever, and then you You hang out a little bit, then you hit the road and drive for whatever 3-4
Yeah.
hours your next show, or 5-6-7-8 hours. So I'm sure it's not as glamorous as some people think. It's not
I
like
mean,
you can go to city and hang out and see the sights and
yeah, it depends where you are. I mean,
yeah.
sometimes we will show up to a venue in I don't know. Let's think of Seville, Spain. We were playing
Mm,
recently. We I woke up, I got out of the tour bus, and I was like, all right, let's see Seville. And we're just in an industrial estate, 40 not 40 miles, but like 3 miles out of the city.
yeah,
And they're like, oh, okay, so I can walk 3 miles, which I'm totally down to do.
yeah,
Um, or I can get an Uber in, but I don't really want to pay. Like Ubers kind of add up cost wise.
yeah,
Well, I'll just stick around here, practice, and do some work, and that kind of thing. So it's sometimes you don't have a choice, but sometimes if like in Paris recently we were playing, and we were right in the middle of the city, great neighborhood. There were some
Mhm.
great food around, great coffee shops, which is kind of one of my favorite things to do is go to local coffee shops. Um, like I feel like it's a fun way to kind of get the lay of the land. You get to have a like nice walk in a city,
yeah.
see what people are about there, and that's fun. So yeah, I mean, it's glamorous. I'm sure it's glamorous for like Bon Jovi, or he's people that have like
Something like that.
star
Yeah,
buses or private jets or whatever. But
yeah,
for we're just a rock band playing, uh, and you got to be away from your family for months at a time.
yeah.
So it's not glamorous, and it's not um it's what's the opposite of glamorous?
Uh, I can't think of a good word.
Yeah, I can't either. It's not it's it can be a lot of fun, but there are sacrifices basically.
Yeah, it's hard. It's probably hard to eat anything healthy on the tour.
Well, I'd say it's easier to eat healthy. It's hard to like have a balanced diet sometimes.
Mm,
I think we're pretty good about our eating habits because we say, okay, we want this food, we want we always have vegetables on the rider, we always have fruit on the rider.
mm,
Um, we try not. I don't really get fried food out on the road too much. Um, there will be
yeah,
after show pizza or after show falafel, but again, have a slice. It's not a big deal. So we're
yeah.
okay about it. I think I did get sick twice on the EU tour we just did, and I haven't been sick in years. So I think it's just a combination of you know being outside of your normal everyday life at home, where your body's just like, ah, yeah, this is my sweet spot. And then you go on the road with 16 dudes in a bus and eating different stuff every day. And, I got my sleep was pretty good. So I don't think it was the sleep, but,
Yeah.
just being around germs you haven't been around in years. And, yeah, so it adds up pretty quickly. And, yeah, I was feeling a little under the weather at times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's got to be pretty tough.
Yeah. It's not too bad. It's just part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. I was told I only have a half an hour with you, so I don't know if I don't want to get the PR company angry at me. I don't
Well, I don't know anything about PR companies, so
know.
well,
But
they just said, "Can you do it at this time?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, that's fine."
okay. All right, cool. Well, I will I'd like to talk some more, but I don't want to get the PR company angry. So
Okay.
are you able to do a couple promos for my radio show and my
I
friends
could
radio?
try. Just give
Okay.
me something to say.
Yeah, yeah. I make sure I wrote it down. There's a little chat thing
Oh,
in here, and
oh, that'd be great.
hopefully you can see that.
Yeah.
Because I always tell people, all right, say this, and they never get it right. It takes like 4 or 5 takes.
Okay.
So this time I'm gonna like write it out. So if you could say that, and I'll use it whenever I play a Haken song, and do one for my friend's radio show. I've been friends with him since I was like 12 years old.
Oh,
And,
nice.
he's at the same radio station with me. I pulled him into the radio station with me. So,
Uh-huh.
and he's a big Hagen fan. He told me
Oh, nice.
you should interview him too. I said, no, I hate doing interviews. Okay. All right, I'll do it.
Well, I mean, I'm happy to. I think I could probably nail this one in one take. Uh,
Yep,
so
go
is
for
that?
it.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna I'll get in the vibe here. All right. This is Connor from Haken. You are listening to Liege of Cookies on Castle Black Radio, where metal lives.
That's good. And
Yeah.
the other one, it's the same thing, but name of his show is Smorgascords.
Smorgascords.
Like smorgasbord, but smorgascords.
Yeah. Swedish. All right. I've got another one. I'm gonna do a little different read here, a little less energy. Or more energy. Do you have more or less?
I think more would be better.
More? Oh my god! I'm gonna
do like a Randy Macho Man Savage. Sorry. No.
Okay.
No, you don't have to do that.
Yeah. All right. This is like a WWE promo from 1993. I can't do that. I'll try. Okay. This is Connor from Haken. You're listening to Smorgascords on Castle Black Radio, where metal lives.
That's perfect.
Let's give it energy.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
I appreciate that. All right. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Hopefully,
yes,
had some fun and didn't make it too weird. I know
it was fun.
There was an old DJ at our station where he asked the same. He gave me a list of all the questions he asked, and he uses the same questions for every single interview. He asked, I got to tell the story, make fun of him because he interviewed the new singer of the band Morbid Angel.
Yeah.
And he asked, he's not the original singer, and he asked, how did they come up with the band name? It's like, well,
how's he gonna know that?
he doesn't do any kind of research.
Yeah.
It's not, if I'm interviewing somebody, I got to do some kind of research. Like, I'm not going to come to this interview with Haken. So what kind of band is that? You guys play the rock music, or what do you guys do?
Yeah. Do you like rock music? Bass, guitar? What do you play?
You play bass? How many strings does that have?
Yeah, I mean, you can always tell. I mean, I get that people have to do it, but they're just like, yeah. So, how'd you come up with the album? Just like, what?
He would literally go. He would go every album. Can you tell me about Fauna and how it came to see the light of day? And the person would go on.
Yeah.
He wouldn't say, okay, cool. And then he would say, can you tell me about Virus and how that came to be? Can you tell me about Vector and how that came to be? Can you tell me about Affinity?
Yeah.
He went through the entire discography. Sometimes his interviews are like an hour and a half long, and you can tell some of the people get so pissed off with it. They're like, oh, really?
Yeah. I did a interview recently that they were like, because I live in the States, and a lot of the music was written in the UK. With the other guys being in a room together, because I couldn't get on a plane and fly over there because I was, just couldn't do it. And a guy was like, yeah, so Fauna, how did how'd the writing sessions go? I was like, well, I wasn't there. He was just like, all right. It's just like moved on. It's like these awkward questions, and I'm like, God, can we talk? Let's talk about something else.
Yeah.
Things like that. But this was fun. It was more laid back and
more laid back,
conversational.
Like I'm sitting in a restaurant with you, just chatting. That's all. That's why I like keep it interesting, not boring. I
think those are better interviews.
I couldn't show you. Where's our cat?
Where's our cat?
Hold on, my wife's getting. I can show you our cat.
Oh,
who hates being picked up?
Oh, the black baby. Oh, oh, she's great. Looks like my parents' cat.
So there you go. All right. From one cat lover to another. So there we go.
Yes, of course.
All right, Connor, it's been a pleasure. And
yes, sir.
Wish you best of luck on the tour. And,
all right.
We'll maybe talk to you next time you're available for interviews.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Cool. All right. I appreciate it.
All right.
Take care. You have a good night and good time on the tour.
Thanks, sir.
All right. Take care.
All right. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.